Welcome back to Workout Wednesday. This is episode number 4. Today, I'm going to show you how I stay warm when it's freezing outside. Below 40 degrees, right down to below freezing. And for my fellow Canadians, 5 degrees or less. Before we get into that, I can't thank you guys enough. I'm just past 5,000 subscribers and it means the world to me. And I'm currently working on a thank you video, a Q&A kind of video, but I'm also going to be doing my biggest giveaway ever. We got 1, we got 2, Absolute Black. They're not people's favorite right now, but their chain rings work, and a few other things. I haven't been doing this a long time, just about a year, and it's something that I fell in love with, making these videos. It would help me out so much. I'd really love to take this channel somewhere, so hit that button, and thank you. All right, let's get into the video. So, in my opinion, the most important things to keep warm are your hands and feet. And I got a special way of doing that. I'm gonna talk about the body before I get into the hands and feet because they're most important. So let's start with the base layer. There's 2 base layers. Now, I gotta warn you, all of my gear is ASOS. And I was thinking about it before I did the video, like why do I buy ASOS? I think because I do all my shopping online, I know what I'm getting. It ships real quick. And they have an amazing, I bought gloves. The stitching came out just like 3 stitches. They sent me a new pair, same with bibs. Some stitching came loose in the bibs, sent me a brand new pair. I know what I'm getting. You don't need to buy ASOS. You can buy whatever you want. It doesn't really matter, especially when it comes to the body, a merino wool base layer. So I have a long sleeve base layer, and depending on how cold it is, I might put a short sleeve on under this. But ASOS sells this really cool thing. So I'll put this on first, and then depending on how cold it is, they have like this other base layer zip. It's just like a jersey, but without any pocket. So there's the back. You can see no pockets, and it's just a zip. And then you can take this on or off depending on how hot you are. So 2 base layers, and then we'll get into the tights. I think the tights are important. These are a newer pair. I bought these last year and these were really expensive. And what makes them expensive is they have like all this stuff, neoprene near the boot, and it has like waterproof. You can see here on the front, it has like a waterproof panel on the front of the legs, and then the back of the legs are vented. But let me show you another set. These ASOS tights are like 7 years old. And you can see they even have like a stirrup for the foot. I mean, they need to be thick, they need to be warm. But besides that, I think once you start spending all this money on this fancy stuff, I don't know how much. I think what they're really trying to do is the fluctuation in temperature. You're going hard, it's breathable, you start slowing down, it keeps the warmth in. And I think that's what the newer stuff tries to do, and it has all these extra features. But like I said, these bibs, like you can see, it has the older material, and it's hard to show on camera, but it has like this zip on the front, so you zip this down when you take a leak, right? Anyways, these are 6 or 7 years old. And look, you can see it there on the knee where I hit it with some bleach by mistake. I put bleach instead of detergent in the washer, but I caught it at the last minute. And anyways, but this is the other reason I buy ASOS stuff. I could still wear these every day, and they're 6 or 7 years old. And I have other stuff that's ancient from ASOS and still great. So get yourself a pair of tights. It doesn't need to be expensive, but they need to be thick to keep you warm. Then we move on to the jacket, and the same thing, you need a thicker jacket, and I have this ASOS one, but again, you can go with any brand, and honestly, use anything that works. What's great about a cycling jacket is it has the pockets on the back. It's slim fitting, so it's not flapping in the wind. You go down a hill at 60 kilometers an hour and your jacket starts flapping, it gets annoying. And what the key is you want to layer. You've heard that for years, just layer. So you don't have to get a crazy thick jacket if you have 2 layers below, which I find is perfect. Something I really like, and this jacket doesn't have it, is a bottom zipper. So you can pull it up to like air yourself out. I really like the bottom zipper that's coming on some of the newer stuff, but this one doesn't have it. Tights, base layer, jacket, kind of standard stuff. Now we kind of get into more interesting stuff. Let's go with the head. So depending on how cold it is, like once it starts getting to 32 below freezing, I'll probably wear one of these, a balaclava thing. I'll save you from, well, I guess I'll put it on and I'll show you why I like it so much. I bet I look really cool right now. I find sometimes what gets really cold. I find sometimes what gets really cold is my head, like right around here. So this is great because you can like pull it right down. And that's usually what I do. I try and get it behind my glasses because I find that my forehead really gets cold. And then what's great is you could like, say you're getting cold, you just pull this up. And sometimes I mess around with it. I go like this, or I'll pull it up like that. I always wanted to be a ninja. You guys ever watch American Ninja when you were a kid? The movie American Ninja? Oh, I love that movie. This is the closest I'll ever be to being a ninja. Anyways, this thing, when it gets super cold, that's vital. And when you start getting around freezing and that crisp air hits your head, that thing's awesome. But if it's a little bit warmer outside, it's gonna be way too warm. Next thing I bring is I always bring my buff, and this thing's awesome. I bring this even in the summer to wipe off my glasses, the sweat. I don't wear it, but I'll keep it in my pocket, especially with COVID. And if you haven't seen it before, I'll put it on real quick. Just goes around the neck like that. I'm sure you've all seen it. All right, so the next thing I bring is one of these shells. And again, this is for the super cold day. The reason I bring a shell is especially if I'm doing intervals. So if I'm on, the jacket will be opened and I'll be, going hard through the interval. And then if I cool down and I'm just rolling around, I find sometimes I start freezing because I'm wet. So I put that on. Super important. I'm only talking about dry conditions in this video. This is cold, dry conditions. Wet, like 40 degrees, 37 degrees, 3 degrees Celsius, and raining, that's a whole other beast. And that's probably the worst conditions you can be in. And this gear doesn't apply to that I'm going to be talking about. It's only dry conditions. Because once you get into wet, it's a whole other thing, and that would be its own video. All right, so now that we're there, let's go to the hands. And I think the hands and feet are probably, if your hands and feet get too cold, you're in big trouble. So let's go to the hands first. I got these gloves and they're heated. Let me get the battery. So here's the battery, and where it goes is really cool. There's a zipper on the inside and this little thing sticks out. And you plug it in like so, and then it slips in. And then you zip it up. So when it's on, the battery is right here. And so you turn it on, and there's about 3 levels. 1, 2, 3, off. Heated gloves are a must once it gets cold. And again, it depends on how long you're out there. If you're out there for an hour, all of this setup here is to be out there for a long time. That's really important as we get into this video, is all of this setup is to be out there for a long time. And I'm saying 2 hours plus. To go out for an hour is one thing. To go out for 2 hours is another thing. And then once you start getting past 2 hours, you need to be prepared, because I find obviously the longer you're out there, the worse it gets. These heated gloves are awesome. You can get this stuff on Amazon. This is a Savior brand, and they are big, and you're definitely losing dexterity. But what I love about these gloves is they're just super easy to get on and off. Like, it's on. Where I've had other gloves and they're a pain in the ass to get on and off. So these are super easy to get on, but you are losing dexterity. It does work with your phone, but these will keep your hands super warm. And again, this is just for training. This isn't like, I'm not worried about weight at all, because I'd rather be warm, get the workouts done, and get home than worried about weight at this point. So that's why I don't care about the batteries and all that stuff. All right, moving on to the socks. So I bought these socks about 4 years ago, and it's the same brand, Savior, and it takes the same battery as the gloves, and it goes into that little pocket there. There's something I recently learned about heated socks. And again, you have heated socks, game changer, absolute game changer. But they're not all created equal. I recently had a company send me another pair of heated socks, and I was like, oh, great, awesome. This is the first thing a company sent me that I was like, I'm gonna keep this because I actually need it, because these are a problem. But then I realized why these are better, and I'm going to tell you why in a second. First of all, this is after getting this second pair and seeing what the problem was. These are the most important things you got to watch out for when buying a heated sock. The problem with these is they're too thick, and it's hard to show on the camera, but they're too thick. This pair is much thinner, which is a lot better. And you can see it's more structured, where this is kind of turned into a tube, and this one is more structured, which is better. The problem with this is it has, you can see here, it's very difficult to show on camera, but there's this wire that runs down in from the battery and runs all the way down. And this is a much thicker wire, and if you put the sock on wrong, where that wire's on the side of your toe or on the bottom of your foot, it's going to be terrible. But it's designed to run on the side of your foot. I have to turn the sock so the wire's on the top of my foot, or to the side, so it doesn't dig in, and that's not the way the socks were designed to be worn. There's also another feature that these socks have that this sock doesn't, and let me show you, is a little fob. So the socks that someone sent me, they sync with the battery, and this is the battery for the other socks. And once you turn this battery on, so the battery's on, and then as I press the button on the fob, so that's hot, medium, cold. You can just keep this in your back pocket and change the temperature of your sock, which is awesome. These older ones, I gotta like press this button manually. You hold it to turn it on, then each press changes the temperature, which is a great feature. I really like this because having to reach down. But the problem with this fob is it's really hard to know what setting you're on because it has such a small LED. And when pressing it with your gloves, you can't really see what setting you're on. So that's a downfall there. But if I had to choose between these two socks, these are more comfortable, they're slimmer, these are less comfortable, thicker, but I would pick these socks any day of the week because, and this is the most important thing you got to look for when you're buying a pair of heated socks, is these socks have a toe cap. So the heated element goes around the entire toe cap. So as you put the heating elements like this and your foot goes in there, so there's heating on the top and the bottom of your toe. Where this one only has heating on the bottom. It's only like a little pad on the bottom and there's no heating on the top, which is useless for cyclists. I guess I could try and turn the sock around, but then this heel part would be at the top and I'd be wearing the sock like this, so it wouldn't work. The heating element needs to be on the top because that's the barrier between the cold air and your foot. I found this almost useless. It kind of actually felt weird as I was stepping on the pedals and stepping directly on the heating element. So look for a toe cap, thin socks, and a hidden wire. You're probably gonna find, again, these are 4 or 5 years old. I saw some newer socks that instead of having a fob, it just links to your phone. So you pull your phone out and you can change the temperature of each sock. I ordered an expensive pair. They're coming. They should be here in the next couple of weeks and I'll review those. They're supposed to be like one of the better pairs that you can buy. So stay tuned for that. But those are the most important things I found with the heated sock. But the most important things are the wire. It doesn't dig into your foot. They're comfortable. Thin material. And then it has a toe cap, a toe cap heating element. And I think you can find some on Amazon for $80. I think the gloves are a little bit more expensive. And then the other issue is battery life. I find on high, you get like 2 hours. And then I find on low, it goes like hours, 4 or 5 hours, and then medium somewhere in between. So what I do is I go out, I don't turn it on, I wait till my hands and feet get cold, then I turn it on. I don't know if that's the best move. Might be better to go out there low, keep them warmer for longer. But anyways, if you get a set, you can play with it. But the battery life is the only downfall on both. If it was up to me, I'd crank them both up to hot, but again, they only last 2 hours. Again, please hit that subscribe button so you're notified. My biggest giveaway, I'm really excited about this. I'm happy that I can do stuff like this. So yeah, thank you. Please comment, read all my comments. Love to hear from you guys, and please like the video if you liked it. I'll see you on the next video. I'll see you soon. Bye.